Hi everybody, how are you? I didn't realise we went live then. I'm about 1 minute too early. I'm still in throes of just setting up my camera. How are we? I'm a minute early. Sorry guys, we'll have to wait till a few more people jump on. I pressed the wrong button. Just give this a couple of minutes and we'll jump on. Won't be a second. Kath Malloy, Darlene Muirhead, Michelle Rand Chandler from over in New Zealand. Hi guys, thanks for joining us here today. I've gone live about a minute too early. Never mind. Wait a minute, I'll turn my volume down. Everything's happening all at once here. Hang on, you can hear me talking to myself in the background. That's better. Patricia Flower from New Zealand, hi, and Denise from New Zealand too. Linda from over in the States. Hi Linda, thanks for joining us today. Be sure to, Linley, she's from New Zealand. Tell me, when you say hi, tell me where you're from. I mean, so far I pretty much know all of you. Linda, you're from Nevada or Vegas? Darlene, you live in Sydney, not far from me. Today I'm going to teach you, well, I'm going to show you how I do a layout. I wasn't sure during the week what I was going to do. Hi Bev, how are you? Bev's another girl from New Zealand, and Karen from Sydney. I wasn't sure what I was going to do earlier in the week. I knew what I was going to use, the Prima Capri collection from Frank Garcia. Hi Michelle, how are you? And Lynn, Robin, thanks ladies for joining me this morning. Shirley from New Zealand. Yeah, so I knew I was, sorry, I'm losing train of thought. You've got no idea how stressful doing these is. It really is. I'm not as young as I used to be either. So I'm using the Capri collection by Frank Garcia, and I'm using some of the gorgeous blooms that go with that. Hi Lynn, how are you? And Heather from up in North Queensland. Thanks for joining today. I hope I don't disappoint you. I had a technical issue about 15 minutes ago. I've done a lot of research into when you're doing a live stream and I show you something with writing on it, for instance, like say I'm showing you that label. It comes around, it shows to you opposite. So in other words, the writing's backwards. Hi Joanne and Robin Whitehouse, Whitelake I should say. Sorry Robin, how are you? Anyway, you can fix that, and I did a lot of research during the weekend. It's a little icon and you press it, and it's been working fine. 10 minutes before I went live, I did another test run, and it's not working. So anything I show you today, hi Lisa, how are you? Good to see you. You're going to have to read in reverse. I'm sorry, but that's technology for you. We can't all control it. Best laid plans of mice and men. So I'm going to, this was another thing I researched, how I can go on the table and then come back to me and swap between the two. You've got no idea how stressful it is, all the technology. When I film here on this live stream, I have to watch it on my laptop, which is to the side of me, and there's a 15-second delay, and that so does my head in. That's, I'm used to tutorials where it's all in actual time, but this is like a 15-second delay. And Facebook want us to do live streams, but then they put all these other things in place that make it not difficult. Anyway, hi Lynn Powell from out in WA. She's my kangaroo. She rears baby kangaroos. And hi Sharon. Sharon's our team leader over at Prima. Anyway, just bear with me. I'm going to go down to the table now, but I have to rotate it 180 degrees, which will make you feel ill. So just close your eyes for 15 seconds, okay? So I'm going to just place it down on my table. It's come out of its little holder. And I have to gently rotate it. If I happen to lose you, I'll just restart all over again and come back. Now, hopefully, you are seeing that now in the right direction. Hopefully. That's, as I said, best laid plans of mice and men. Oh, look, it's actually worked. Now I just got to get my camera in the right place. Now, as I said, I'm really sorry you're seeing that text back to front. I researched during the week how to make the text go the right way, and it has all been working, and I've done about 20 tests. But today, 5 minutes before we go live, you know, it's putting a green haze over it if I do it. So we just have to live with it. So, beautiful Capri collection. And that's the paper I'm going to use today. But look at these papers. They're just exquisite. And they're a fairly high GSM too. I think they're about 250 or so. So if you want to do a little bit of mixed media on there, that's, you know, they are a really, really good quality. Can you tell me, have I got sound, guys? I have got sound, haven't I? Somebody just leave me a comment and tell me. Because I'd hate to be doing this with no sound. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, as I said, and I have, I've already pre-gessoed it with the Art Basics Clear Gesso, and that's great because it doesn't hide any of the pattern or any of the colours on the paper. Gesso is a primer, and it seals the paper so your wet mediums don't seep through into the paper, and it also gives you some grip for everything else to, thanks Kim for telling me yes to sound. Okay, yeah, it gives whatever you put it on grip. So, you know, if you were putting paints or whatever on, sprays, whatever, ink, it'll stick to it. So I've already done that so I don't have to get you guys to all wait. Now I'm going to apply some texture paste with this gorgeous stencil, and I'm going to use, and I'm sorry you've got to read it back to front, the Art Extravagance texture paste. This one's the Clear Crackle. I love it because whatever colours and things you put over it, it you know, when it's totally dry, it's all beautiful and cracked and aged. So I'll get started on that. There's my little spatula. Yeah. Okay, so if I can find the opening and stop shaking. Right, so one of my things I always teach in my classes is, and I see a lot of girls in classes do it, they cover the entire stencil and then they move it and they cover the entire stencil somewhere else, and that really doesn't look that great. It's best if you just kind of meander in and out with it. Down there, you can see I'm not doing a whole lot, and I'm not going to bother about the middle of our page here because that's going to be covered. And I always lift it up and have a little peek. Yep, that looks nice. Just be careful you don't flatten what you've already done. A bit more. My computer is frozen, so I can't see if you're making any comments. If you want to ask me anything as we're going, please just type the comment and say, hey, Guy, what are you doing there? Ah, Linda just said she hasn't used Clear Crackle yet. It's a texture paste, Linda, but it's as I say, when it dries, it gives the most gorgeous crackle effect, and all your colour that you're using on top of it seeps into it and gives a really beautiful effect. It's not as thick in texture as normal texture paste, but it is it's plenty thick enough to do what I want to do. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. I just take a few little pieces off, and this is what I often do. If I think, oh, I've gone a little bit straight there, I'll just wipe that off and make a little bit more, you know, waving in and out. So that will do. Now, unfortunately, girls, I'm going to have to dry that a little bit. I won't dry it fully, but I am going to have to dry that a little bit. So I'll just keep chatting away over the top of that. Hopefully you can still hear me. So who else have we got on here this morning? Just chat to me, girls, while I'm drying this off. Yeah, Sharon from Primus just said, Finnabar Crackle Paste works beautifully. The thicker you apply it, the larger the cracks you get. And yes, that's absolutely right, Sharon. I found that too. Tammy, what have you written, Tammy? I haven't used You froze, I know, that's the internet, Darlene. Unfortunately, because while we're all in lockdown, so many people, well, just about the entire population, I think, is on the internet, and so it's, you know, it keeps crashing and freezing, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. That's just technology, and we have to learn to live with that. I'm really, really sorry that I have to dry this off. There's nothing as boring, I think, in a video than watching someone dry a piece of paper. I should have thought ahead and done this earlier and had 2 on the go. But anyway, best laid plans of mice and men. Can only do what we can do. But I'm really liking the look of that on this paper. Isn't this paper gorgeous? There's so many lovely papers in this collection. All, well, at Capri. I mean, obviously from the Isle of Capri, it's all waters and lovely rough aged textures, and there's some lovely cutout images as well. You can cut out for your layers and so forth. And this collection has got the most gorgeous flowers that match it. I mean, I really mean gorgeous. They're so stunning. And anybody that knows my work knows that I'm a bit of a flower freak. Love my flowers. I don't think I could scrapbook without flowers. Even when I do a boy page, I don't go crazy with them, and I wouldn't use pretty pastels or something like that, but I'll still use a few. I think it's the right flower and the right colour, and you can get away with it, you know. I just like the texture that flowers add to a layout. And I'm a bit of a texture nut, I'm afraid. Like, I like, you know, the more texture the better as far as I'm concerned. And I don't like flat and bland. I think that's a bit boring. I'm very into my textures. So, and any of you girls that know my work would be aware of that by now. Okay, how are we going here? We're getting there slowly but surely. Yeah, I mean, it's not totally dry, but I think it's going to be dry enough that we can work on it. Now, you can see when you use mediums how it curls your paper, but that's okay, because you can either do a couple of things. You can stick it on a piece of cardstock when you finish to the back of it, or a piece of, you know, finer type of chipboard, you know, a sheet of 12 by 12 chipboard. Or alternatively, when you put it in your album in a plastic sleeve, it flattens out anyway. So, you know, I don't find that a big deal. Okay, I think that's dry enough that we can continue. I'll just roll it out a bit to try and flatten it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's not too bad. Okay, so I wanted to do our layout today as a little bit of a beachy type thing. And I've got all these lovely pieces of mesh, like it looks like a fishing net or something like that. So I'm going to use a few pieces of that. Again, it'll add to all my beautiful textures. See, it's like, you see, it's just like a fishing type of net. But it's a nice soft cotton, so that I think will be okay. So I'm probably going to put that about there. And I've got a nice piece of chipboard I might layer underneath. Yeah, I'm happy there. Okay, so I'll start to stick down, I think. I decided to do a layout today because at the end of the day, I'm a memory keeper. That's what I love to do. I love to scrapbook because it's a memory keeping process. You know, all your family's special events and milestones and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's not to say I don't like to break out and do some other things as well. Of course I do. But first and foremost, I am a memory keeper, so hence I'm a scrapbooker. I know a lot of girls have strayed away from straight out scrapbooking, but that's just what I do. And that's the beauty of paper crafting, isn't it? There's no right or wrong. So I've mounted my photo, I've sandpapered the edges of my photo. I did that earlier so I didn't hold you up too much. And I've torn a bit of corrugated. Corrugated is probably one of my signature things that I love to use. again, it's texture, and I love it. And I've whitewashed that with some white gesso from the Art Basics collection. And that's, again, giving it a nice beachy look. Now I'm going to add a few of these pieces around that page. Put a piece up there, and another piece in here. Just maybe a piece down here. Okay, has anybody else jumped on? Hi Anna from up in Queensland, and Christine Williams. That's okay, Chrissy. Christine's from New Zealand. Patricia Sanchez. Oh, thanks, Patricia. That's lovely for you to say that. It's hard to keep tabs on the comments and concentrate on what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that there. I mean, I don't know, you probably picked this up in a fishing store or something. Probably from I don't know, a fishing pot or a crab pot or something. Okay, so I'm kind of happy where that is now. So I might put a few little dots of glue to hold that in place. And I'm putting it where the flowers are going to be covering it, so that, you know, there won't be any little shiny patches of where I've done the glue. Plus, I'm going to put flowers on it in a minute, and that's going to hold it all in place, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, that'll do for the moment. Now we might start adding a few flowers. How gorgeous are these flowers from this Capri collection? I absolutely love them. And they even look like you've already wiped some gesso over them. Yeah, how nice are they? They're absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do, and what I like to do, is I like to start to place everything before I actually stick it down. And that way I can, you know, make sure that I've got everything where I feel it should go. And I try hard not to line my flowers straight. I like to have them wavering in and out. This little guy, we can put him over there. And I've got a little clock. I love clocks in my scrapbooking because I think they're symbolic of time. And I think, well, scrapbook's all about time, isn't it? It's capturing the memories of the time gone by. So, yeah, I'm kind of happy there. So that looks kind of nice. With all our fishing mesh underneath. And I've got some lovely shells to poke in too. Okay, so I might start sticking those down. Just bear with me here. I always shake when I do these live streams because I get so nervous. I think I said last week, standing out in front of a class of 70 and I'm fine. No problem at all. Put me in front of the camera and I go all nerves. Must be getting old and silly, hey? A little bit of glue on this. Aren't they nice, these, the way they're a little, really pretty little, like a little wooden centre and a nice little spray. My little puppy, she's not a puppy, she's an old girl now, Tilly, my staffy. She's in here with me and she's rolling on the rug, having a nice time. My little clock, I'll poke him in. Till, make sure you roll quietly. You can hear her shaking. You be quiet when Mum is doing a live stream, please, Bubby. You talk to your animals too? I do. Like she's a little person. Okay, and I might add some foliage too, because it had some nice little foliage pieces in that pack. I'm just going to trim them to make them a tiny bit shorter though. And I like that little tiny accent of green. I think it just adds a little bit of, what do you say, je ne sais quoi? Is that the right word? Anybody that's French that's here can correct me if that's the wrong way to use it, but I think that's how you use it, je ne sais quoi. Meaning like the icing on the cake. them a bit better later. And we've got some, oh, look at these gorgeous berries too. This was another nice one that was in this pack. I'll just shorten it though, its little stem. I like when you get a pack of flowers and you get a lot of different pieces. You know, it gives you a variety instead of just a pack of all the one flower. Oh yeah, that looks really, really nice. Liking that. Yes, we're coming together. And I've made all my chipboard crooked. Straighten up there. Let me just have a look. Yeah, that's straight. Now I've also got some shells, which I'll add the shells in a minute. I'll put my flowers on the other side first, I think. Linda just said the flowers match beautifully. Yeah, they do, don't they? They're just, that is such a beautiful range. It's just all, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Oh, I had a nice doily that I die cut that I wanted to add in. I'm going to scrunch it a bit. I'll put a bit of glue on the back of it. And just see if I can lift that up a bit. I totally forgot. Gosh, I'm silly. I like doilies. They always look pretty. Okay. Put a bit more glue on that. Where did that come from? Okay. Straighten that chipboard piece up. Yep, that's good one. Okay, where are we? Penny from New Zealand. Penny just said, what range is this? This is the Capri collection, Penny, from Prima, designed by Frank Garcia. Obviously symbolic of the Isle of Capri, I suppose, because it's all lovely and watery. Heather, 8 degrees Celsius here this morning. Brr. Gee, that's cold for North Queensland, Heather, isn't it? Am I using liquid glass for adhesive, Jacqueline said. No, I use, you know, Express It that do the, well, they do the tape here in Australia. They also do this clear gel glue. I love it. And the other thing I often use as adhesive is the soft matte gel from Art Basics. But remember, you're going to be reading that backwards because my app didn't work. Soft matte gel, that is, and that's transparent too. That is an awesome adhesive as well as, you know, what it's intended for, because it you know, it just sticks anything to anything. Okay, now I've got a few little blue bits of blue mesh here, and I thought I might add those in too. Are you seeing all right, girls? Is everything coming out clear? I'm going to just fray them up a little bit, add to the textures. You don't want them all pristine and perfect. It's a good idea before you start a layout is to collect a whole bunch of stuff out of your craft room or your stash of all things that you think, oh, that might, those colours work, that'll work, and have them all on your desk, and then as you go, you can just pick from bits of this and bits of that, and yeah, it just adds to all. There's that je ne sais quoi again that I was talking about. It just adds to it all, doesn't it? Okay, so we add some more flowers to the other side. Hi, Cheryl. The comment keeps disappearing. That's technology for you, Cheryl. I don't have any control over that, unfortunately. And as I say, because there's so many people on the internet this morning, well, it has been throughout the whole lockdown process, hasn't it? You know, it keeps dropping out, it keeps freezing, and unfortunately we just, you know, have to bring them there, don't I? Sadly. I might tuck that little guy in here. Oh, I love these flowers. Absolutely love them. I'd go so far as to say these might be my new faves, I think. And there's a little pair of tendrils in there as well. I might pop those in as well. Somebody said, did I spray that? No, that was Cinemay, that blue mesh. C-I-N or S-I-N, I'm not sure. May, S-I-N-A-M-A-Y. You can usually get it around race day because they make little, what do you call the little hats? Fascinator hats out of it. So, or if you have a hat making business, if you Google near you, I have one near me here on the Central Coast, and they sell it too. And it usually comes in a roll, and it's great. It's stiff, and you can buy it coloured. That's not to say if I was using the cream one, I could spray that too. Hi Patty, how are you? When I put cheesecloth or muslin in my kits, yeah, I usually do spray those. Hi Chris, how are you? Thanks for joining in today. Okay, so we're getting there slowly but surely. Now we need to add some shells. Let me see. We'll add a couple down here. I'm not going out of camera shot, am I? I'm trying to stay in camera shot. I'll just move that up a little bit. Okay, we'll put a little bit down there. And another little bit over there. I can see my computer's frozen again too. It's such a nuisance. But that's technology. Nothing we can do about it. Unfortunately. Okay, so let's put some more shells over on our other side. So we're starting to come together. And I'm going to have a play in a minute with some of the new, well, they're new to me, they're not new to Prima, the watercolour confections. I've been wanting these for so long, and I ordered myself a set this week. So I'm going to be road testing them in a minute on here. But we'll get everything stuck down first before we proceed. I can't see what I'm doing because my computer has frozen. So I'm flying a bit blind here, ladies. Can't see any comments. The joys of technology, hey? Where will I put another couple of shells? I might tuck one in there maybe. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. And I might put a little one in over there. Hello, we've unfrozen, we're back. Oh, thanks Elizabeth. Elizabeth's just saying the colours that I use on this are lovely. You really couldn't go wrong with this collection, Elizabeth. It's such a beautiful collection, and it's all pre-coordinated for you, so we don't even have to rely on our own colour matching skills. I might put a little bit of that. Got a little bit left over, that little bit of mesh, I might poke in down there. Now I forgot to do stamping before I started. What a silly duffer I am. Doing these lives, you're trying to remember so many different things. I might do this as a kit. I've only got a limited quantity of this paper and everything, but I might do it as a kit. For the girls that don't know, if you look over on my Facebook page, I do sell lots of kits. That's, you know, I sell kits and teach. That's how I make my income. I've got a little butterfly I also cut out from these papers. So when I do butterflies, I always crease them in the middle with my nail. And I just put a tiny little dab of glue on just the body part so that the wings can actually stand up and have a three-dimensional image. Okay, now I need a little title. I might just do that one there, but I might colour that before I put it on. Okay, now the other thing I was going to show you, I made, you know, last week when I spoke in my live stream and I had a little go at the moulds. Well, I made one and it came out really, really nice. I was really pleased how it came out. And as I was carrying everything upstairs, because I film upstairs because it's the best light, I dropped it and it broke into 3 pieces. I went, heck, that's a nuisance, but you know what? I'm going to use it anyway. I'm just going to poke bits in and we'll colour that up in a minute. No one will ever know, just me and the Facebook audience. See, no one would even know. I can get it in, get it in, get it in. There, no one would know that's a broken piece. It looks like I've tucked a little frame. Yep, that looks nice. I don't know what I could do with these other two pieces. Do you think I could use those? No, I'll save them for another project. I wish I hadn't have dropped it, but anyway, it is what it is. And this morning was so cold here. Yeah, everything's brittle, so... Okay, so that's done. I might just... I'll do a little bit of stamping in a minute, and I've got to stick a couple of little word strips on. Okay, so I'm going to road test these fabulous watercolour confections. They're from Art Philosophy, which is under the Finnabar range of products. I'm sorry you're looking at this back to front, but my little app on my thing that's turned it around is not working today for some reason. What have I done here? Okay, so that's what they look like in a gorgeous little tin. You've got a little colour chart there. So I'm going to open them up and just sit them beside me there. As the name implies, they're watercolour. So you need water to activate them. I think I might try them with an aqua brush, an aqua pen. You've all seen these, like a brushy type of nib, and they've got water inside them. I just want to do a little bit of shading around the edge. Is that enough water in there to activate it? No, not really. Not really, not really. Is that not working? It's not coming out. No, I don't know. You must have a blockage in it. Let me try another one. Guys, just bear with me a second. Yeah, that's working a little bit better. But I might just activate that with a bit of water. Now, when I'm doing this type of technique, sometimes I'll do this with inks. Sometimes I'll do it with sprays. I always like to have a baby wipe in my hand so that I can blot up little pools, and if I make a mistake, I can just wipe it off. And that's the beauty of gessoing first. That paper is sealed. So if I absolutely muck it up, that's not going to be a problem. I can just wipe it off, okay? So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of colour. Don't freak out, because I'm going to tone that down with some water. I didn't want that dark. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. A little bit more water just to... Obviously, the more water you put on it, the more pastel you're going to make it. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Except, hang on. Silly me, I forgot to add my art stones because I want them to be a little bit coloured as well before I continue. Anybody who's bought my kits before would have seen art stones because I do love them. They're gorgeous and again, texture. And I'm using soft matte gel, although you're going to have to read that label back to front. I'm really sorry, guys. I'll hopefully get that sorted before next week's live. So I'll just grab a little brush here. Here's a brush that I like. You know, you have your favourite brushes, and I can't find my favourite one for doing this. Oh, I'll just use the one I was doing the colour with. Now I've lost all my brushes. Oh, here it is. Stop looking. Found it. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of gel medium there and some of those. And I'll pop them in there. I shouldn't have done that water on there first. Okay. So I'm just dabbing my brush into there, picking up some art stones and sort of wiping them onto my layout. So I get nice little clustered pieces. Can you see that? Oh, I love these colours. I do. You know, years ago, I owned a scrapbook shop for 8 years, from 2006 to 2014 when I sold it. But when I was teaching back in those days, I never liked scrapbooking with blue. I couldn't make blue product work. I don't know. I had this thing about blue. And then, you know, a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, I think I found the recipe I was scrapbooking in blue. And now I absolutely love it. I do every layout I do in blue if I didn't want to bore people. But I didn't want to bore everybody, so we try to give it a bit of a variety. Okay, so that's all working beautifully. Let me just pop a little bit of that up here. Sorry, my arm's in the way, guys. The art stones add a beautiful texture, don't they? They really do. And when that gel medium dries, that'll stick them down lovely. Yep, we're getting there, slowly but surely. So remember that, gel medium is what I'm using to stick them with, and the art stones. Now the art stones come in 3 different sizes. I believe that this is the medium size. And it's a good, if you only want to get 1 jar to start with, it's a really good size to start your collection off. Because you can adapt it to most things. Come off my brush, little guy. Can't help but get my fingers in. Okay, I'll do one more little cluster of them down here. The other way I use art stones too is I put a little bit of gel medium, or if people don't have gel medium, blue works fine as well, as long as it's not a shiny blue, because otherwise you'd see it. And I sprinkle them on. So that's another way you can add them too. So I'll just put the lid on that so it doesn't dry out. See how it has an inner lid as well? And then I'll put my other lid on. Irene, how are you, Irene, down in Victoria? How's those gorgeous puppies of yours? Irene spoils her little poochies like I do. She had them on the lounge last night. I had mine on there with a blanket too. Gee, we spoil our puppies, don't we? When you're an empty nester and you haven't got your babies to spoil at home all the time, you have to spoil your pooches, don't you, Irene? Okay, so where are we? We're up to there, so we can come back now to our watercolours. I'm going to use my old brush because I do like that. So I'll use this, bring that over here, the watercolours. So as you're colouring there, you can add some of that colour. How nice does that look? To your art stones as well. You could put a bit on your shells there as well. And you think, oh, that's a bit deep, the colour, just put a bit of water on it. And that just dilutes it. I'll put a bit over here. And that's getting on my my mesh as well, and I'm rather liking that. Just a tab there. Yep, so it's, you can see aren't they fabulous, these paints? I've been wanting these for so long, and I thought, that's it. This week I'm having some, so I got myself some. I mean, I do this technique with inks and sprays, but this just makes it so much easier. A little bit in there. Okay, how are we going here? A bit more up here, a bit more shading. And as I said before, if you feel that you've gone a bit heavy-handed on colour, absolutely just get a baby wipe. I always have a baby wipe next to me when I'm doing this type of technique. And if I feel I've added too much colour, I either add a little bit more water, like there, I've gone a bit heavy-handed on the colour, add a bit more water to tone it down, and just blot a little bit off. I mean, that's easy fixed. Not a problem at all. My art stones aren't completely dry yet, but they will be shortly. So you can see what I'm doing. Are you up close enough, do you think, that you can see what I'm doing there? I'm just having a look on my computer to see what you can see. You sort of get the general idea, don't you? This would be nice done on your flowers too. Now I am going to do some on my doily here. That's just a little white cardstock doily that I die cut with a Prima doily die. And I don't want it all perfect, so I'm just going to Put a little bit of the colour on there, just a little bit. And did you see I scrunched that a little bit first, again, to add some dimension? Now I'm going to do a little bit. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, how versatile are these? I'm loving them. And I'll put a little bit on my my piece of broken frame. I'm very cranky at myself for dropping that. And it turned out so lovely. Okay, well we're kind of about there, I think, Blakes. Are you liking it so far? I hope you do. I hope I'm giving you some inspiration, some ideas for a layout. Okay, and I like that it's all very, it's quite a monochromatic layout. It's all in that, in those same blue tones. Tell me what you like most. Karen and Campbell just said, what watercolour set is it? It's the Tropicals, Karen. There's gorgeous pinks and yellows and oranges and teals, purples. Yeah, quite a good little set. Yeah, that's a good little investment, that, I think. Perfect for colouring. I mean, you can see I coloured the chipboard, I coloured the art stones, it did a bit of it on the mesh, did a lovely shading around the edge of my page. So I'll just put a little bit of colour on that title. When that's dry, I'll stick it down. I'll just pop that there. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Now, I did want to stamp, which I forgot to do earlier. I'm such a duffer. I just wanted to use a little script background stamp, and I was wanting to do some grey so it wasn't too harsh. You know, some stamping. And when I do background stamping, I don't ever use a block. I like to keep it just freehand like that, and I just, you know, keep it all in close and tight. Again, you're adding to the visual layers of your page. You're drawing the eye into the photo with all these visual layers around it. But I can't do it now. I'll show you what I mean, but I can't do it properly because I'm just using a grey ink because that's wet. And I just like so. Nice and light. Yeah, I'll do that thoroughly once it dries. I should have done it before I did that, but when you're live streaming, it's a little bit nerve-wracking and you tend to forget things. Yeah, so that's quite good. Now I've got a couple of little word strips here, which I'm going to put on. It says, listen to your heart, it will show you the way. Put that on up there. And the other half of it over here. I will photograph this page as soon as I finish, and I'll get it up on my Facebook page and also in here, if anybody wants to have a proper close-up look. Because I know it's hard to see exactly what it's like from a video. Okay, so now have I forgotten anything? I've got my little word strips, I've got my title, I've got the shells, I've got the art stone. So I think we've pretty much done it all. Yeah, I showed you the watercolours. 10 out of 10 on those. They're my new favourite product. Love them. And I think I'll be ordering another couple of sets because they've got quite a few different sets. They've got, you know, metallics and vintage colours and pastels, and yeah, there's all different sets. So check them out. Prima, what are they? Artist watercolour pan sets. Oh, and there's the box that you can't read because my app won't work back to front. Watercolour confections they are, and the one I've used today is Tropicals. But yeah, little box of colour they are, that's for sure. Now I was going to use some of the Finnabar blue paste, but I don't know if we actually need it. Let me have a look. The wax paste, I love these too. Let me have a look. Do you need a little bit of those around there, do you think? I have to learn to stop and walk away, don't I? I just keep going. Ah, what the heck. We can do whatever we like, can't we, guys? little bit of that. I might put a little bit on my word too, just to give some dark definition as well. I'll glue that on when it all dries. Yeah, I won't go too crazy with my wax paste today because I think that's probably enough. But I think I've done, I wanted to do some white splatters. That's what I did want to do. Excuse me, that's me shaking it. Does anybody, hi Marie, Marie's from France. Janelle just said it's so pretty, I'll make it look easy. Janelle, I started scrapbooking in 2005 and yeah, so, and teaching as much as I do, I mean I teach everywhere, I've had a lot of layouts under the water, under the bridge as they say, to perfect it. I mean, you're never ever totally perfected, do you? We're always learning a new technique or a new this, that and the other. But I've had a lot of time to sort of get it fairly right. I'm just going to cover that because I don't want to... This is not a brush that's good for splattering. My good brush I've left downstairs. Always cover your photo when you do your splatters, guys, because you're going to wreck it otherwise. Your photo, that's the last thing you need. Okay, that'll do for now. See, even though I covered it, I've still got a tiny bit on the photo. That's it, got it all fixed. Good, good, good. So that's kind of it, I think. Do you like it? What are the things you like about it, girls? Are you as obsessed with the flowers as I am? And that paper, how absolutely gorgeous is that paper? And tell me what you thought about the mesh. It's I'll just hold that up closer so you can see, so you can get a bit of a look. You like the mesh and my go-to corrugated. I mean, I don't think I can do a layout these days without the corrugated. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, there you go. You can see that all up close. Oh, my good buddy Jan's on there. Hi Jan, how are you? Denise. Oh, thanks, lovey. Lisa just said she's absolutely loving the colours. I do too, Lisa. I mean, how could you not love this collection? It's such a beautiful collection. So remember, that's the Capri collection by Frank Garcia, and that's a Prima product. I mean, I'm really sorry that you've got to look at that back to front. I don't know why it did that. As soon as I turned it on today, it put a green haze over the screen, and we couldn't have that. So you just have to learn to live with that one, girls. I'm sorry. I'll promise I'll have it fixed by next time. But yeah, Capri collection. Well, I think that's about it. If you want to leave me some comments. Looks like she's wearing a crown. Oh, Denise, you think that's the doily. Emma's on one of my other teams. Hi Emma, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Cheryl, you're such a sweetheart. My friend Cheryl from down in Victoria, she's such a sweetheart. Yeah. And tell me what you thought of those watercolours. Are they nice or are they nice? They're just amazing. I could do a whole class just on those, just road testing them on different things, I'm sure. Yeah, so, and they're so highly pigmented that a little tiny bit goes such a long, long way. Yeah, such a long, long, long way. So I think that's probably all I've got for you today. I will, as I say, I'll go down now and photograph this page and do some close-ups, and I will post that here in this group, and I'll also post it on my own Facebook page. I think I'll do it as a kit, although I've only got a small amount of these products left, so it's first in, first served on those. But you'll find the details of that on my Facebook page. Yeah, so, okay, well, I think that's about all. Thank you for bearing with me. Hi, Nella, I just spotted you. What did you say, Nella? I missed it now. Love the page, learning lot. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Nella used to come scrapbooking with me when I had my shop way back in the early 2000s, didn't you, Nella? We've been little buddies ever since. Okay, so that's probably all I've got for you today. I appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to pop in. I'm glad you like the collection I've used. I'm glad you liked the watercolour confections. They're called watercolour confections. That's what they're called, watercolour confections. There's a little box. And as I said, they are in there's so many different ranges of those, so you might prefer one of the other collections. Or you might be like me and I've probably ordered them all. But anyway, got to be nice to yourself in lockdown, don't you, girls? Okay. All right, well, that's probably all I've got. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can rotate the camera. Just close your eyes a sec so you don't get sick, because I'm turning at 180 degrees. And I'll come back up facing me. Yeah, just so you can see me when I say bye. Thanks, I really appreciate you taking the time out to come and join me today. Hi, Kath, thanks. Kath said she's lovely and she learned heaps. I'm glad I was able to inspire you with some knowledge, Kath. That's great. So thanks to everybody for joining in today. And I will be back within the week with another live stream. So for now, bye and have a good day. Or in the Northern Hemisphere, have a good night. Bye.